Alright guys, so welcome to today's video, and in today's video we will try to recreate this early stage Susanoo of Shindo Life. And apparently many of you, so the person who's currently watching this video, you seem to watch a lot of Shindo Life content. And that's the reason why I'm trying to recreate some stuff from Shindo Life. So if you have any ideas regarding on what I could recreate, okay, then comment those ideas and subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it to all of your friends so that I know that you guys are interested in that type of content. Also, this is a recreation of some elements of the game, okay? Only a recreation. I'm not trying to mock them or anything if the outcome is not as good as they are, because they are on some next level type of thing, you know? So I really admire those people. So Carrot Bros, shoutouts to you. Your games are amazing. I really like your games. I used to play them a lot, so back then in 2014, 2013, so those were my times, you know. So today I barely play any Roblox. I only develop, okay? Now with that being said, I have this plugin right here enabled, so we are going to start this video in Blender, and we are going to build this early stage Susanoo in Blender. And I'm not going to explain anything regarding the controls of Blender, so if you're not familiar with Blender yet, then I recommend you to become familiar first before continuing with this video. Also, I'm going to speed up this building process, so I'm not going to talk or anything. I'm just going to build, speed up the video, and then you guys are just able to see the inputs right here on this left bottom corner. Okay, that's everything I have to say. Once we're done with building the model, I'll just start talking again, okay? So with that being said, see ya. Okay, so we're back right here. So this is our Susanoo model, so nothing too special, but it is pretty decent, I think. So those pro modders right here, they're probably laughing at me right now, but well, that's all I can do right here. Alright, so as you can see, we have this torso, this hat model, those arms, the shield, and the sword. So let me first of all join everything right here together. So let me join the torso together. And regarding the arms, we can actually only leave one set of arms right here, means we can delete this one and this one as well. Wait. So like this, and we can also get rid of this hand because the hand model is the same for the left and the right arm. So we are only keeping the shield, the arms, the sword, and the torso. And before we move on with exporting, let me add this add split modifier right here. So let me see how this looks like. Well, I don't know. What about this one? Oh. Let's actually consider adding it. Fade smooth again. Let's add this add split modifier. There we go. Come on, add this edge split to all of them. All right. So, when you consider yourself done with this, then yeah, export everything. So I'm going to export everything single by single. Means I'm destroying everything right here except for the one asset which I'm going to export. So in this case, the torso. Then I'm going to file, export OBJ to export it. And then after I'm done exporting, I just hit Control and Z multiple times till everything reappears. And then I do the same step, but this time I'll delete the torso as well. And for example, I'll leave this arm part right here and repeat everything again. So export it and then, you know, just make everything reappear again, and then repeat the same steps for the lower arm, for the hand, for the sword, for the shield. So that's the way and how I'm going to do things. There is probably a method in which you're able to export the whole model, but I want the parts single by single, you know. So I want a single torso part, a single shield, a single sword, and those single arm parts right here. So I'm going to do this now, and we'll see each other back in the Roblox studio once we're done with exporting, of course. Alright, so back here in the Roblox studio, let's import all of those parts. So I'm gonna create this mesh part right here. And this mesh part right here, you know, so just go to mesh ID and go to this folder icon. And then you're able to import all of the parts we have created in Blender. So I'm gonna import the torso right here now. So torso, there we go. So there's still something I wanted to add to the torso, but I'm going to add this instead of the Roblox Studio now. So worry about this. Okay, So let me import all of the other parts. So also let me give you those things some names. So this is the right upper arm, the left upper arm. So we are going to rig this model inside of Roblox Studio in a bit. So we're going to make use of a certain plugin which allows us to rig rigs right here. So right lower arm, let me duplicate it, or left lower arm. So let me duplicate this, let me call it left hand. Let me import this hand model. Duplicate it, let me call it right hand. Move it up here. Now, the only things which are missing are sword and a shield. Okay, there we go. So this is our Susanoo model. I'm still not satisfied with the transparency. Well, I think that can actually change something about it. So group this. Okay. Call this Susanoo. But this is obviously Sasuke Susanoo, okay? So not Itachi's or anything like that. There we go. So, wait. Okay, so the color is actually good. The only problem is that it is a little bit too light, but when we decide to make the color a little bit darker, then we have to watch out that we do not make the color too dark, because it then loses the glow. As you can see, it is glowing a little. Not that much, but it is. Yeah, so let me add this point light inside of here as well. Okay, so that's the first thing. So I've added this point light right here. Next thing which we are going to add is going to be, or are going to be, some parts. I'm gonna add some eyes to the Susanoo. So yellow, neon, yo. Also change the shape to ball. Just size it down. Problem is, I'm not really able to see. where we are supposed to put this into. It's out a little. There we go. Now, we give them some names. So I1, I2. Oh. Let's weld them to this torso. So create a weld constraint, or even create two. So port 0 is obviously the port you're attaching something onto. In this case, the eyes are attached to this torso part. So the whole torso, you know, so this whole big ass thing is of course not attached to one single eye. Of course the eyes are attached to the torso, so that's the logic you have to follow. And port 1 is of course the part you're attaching something onto. In this case, the eyes are attached to the torso, as I've already told you. So I1s are part 1. Now, part 0, once again the torso, and part 1 in this case, the second eye, so I2. There we go. And also make sure that both eyes right here, that can collide is false, and that anchor is false as well. But that's the case by default. One more thing regarding the sword and the shield. So, I personally... I want to weld this as well. So, port 0 the right hand and port 1 the sword. Let's do the same for a shield. So let's weld the shield onto our left hand. Port 0 left hand, port 1 the shield. There we go. Select all of them. Make sure that can collide is false. And check this again for the shield and the sword. And there we go. Yeah. So now we have to rig this thing. Okay, so we have this plugin. So I have this rig edit light plugin. There are probably a bunch of plugins out there in Roblox. So in that libraries tab, in that plugins tab. So go ahead and grab some rig editor plugins right here. So select the model. Press this. And now we're able to do all of the stuff we want to do. So okay, so that's the first joint. This is the second joint. That's the way and how it works. So we have this torso, okay? And we are basically creating joints from the torso to the right upper arm and to the left upper arm. So we have two separate joints right here. And then, of course, the most logic way to continue is that you create another joint from the upper arms to the lower arms, and then from the lower arms to the hand, and then from the hand... Well, no, just leave it at the hand, because we do not want to create any joints for the shield and for a sword, because they have been welded into the hands, okay? So forget about that. Yeah, so that's basically it for this left arm. Now, yeah, there we go. So this is basically it. Let me get rid of this, and now let me get into this animation editor. Please select the rig or animate. Build rig or the plugins tab. So the problem is that this thing right here needs a humanoid. I think that this is the problem. Yeah, there we go. Let's check this out. Let's hope that this works. And yeah, okay. But there are still some things we have to change. So let's go inside of this plugin right here again. No. So we obviously have to move this to where those parts meet. So in this case, both parts, so the torso and the upper arm, meet each other right here, so in this area. So make sure that the joint is in this area as well. Same goes for this joint. So the lower arm and the upper arm, they meet each other in this area. Make sure that the joint is somewhere in this area as well. Same goes for this hand. So should be quite obvious for you to do this. Okay. Have to ensure that actually is the same, but it is not. Problem is step right here. Okay, let's hope that this works now. There we go. There we go. Finally. So. Guys. Wait. So it works for this one. Wait. Yeah, so there is obviously a problem with the hand. So the hand is not really attached to this lower arm right here. But we have approached. So we have approached wait. Let me actually delete this. So we have now come, or we have came one step closer to what we want to do. So, oh. Now it works. Now it works. All right. So now let's create some animations right here. So let's create an idling animation. Wait. Let's create an idling animation. So this is like going to be the idling animation. Okay, so this is our first idling animation for the Susanoo. So make sure that the priority is set to action for this one. That's pretty important. And yeah, then publish it to Roblox. Called Susanoo Idol. Submit. Copy the ID and save it somewhere. So I'm gonna save it inside of this notepad right here. There we go. And that's our first animation right here. Now we can obviously create some more animations, and I want to leave this for future videos. So if you want to see another video in which we make this Susanoo right here attack, then leave a like and comment and subscribe of course to my channel. And I'll consider creating another episode in which I show you how to make this Susanoo attack people. And yeah, we are then going to create some moves for this one. So what we have to do now is that we have to add an instance inside of here called animator. Wait, no, animation controller, I'm sorry. Let's add this animator inside of here. Okay. Alright, so apart from that, we can also create an animation instance, which is going to be our idling animation. Add this animation ID inside of here. And wait, okay, now it works. Delete those anim saves if you... Now we're actually good to go. So move this inside of the replicated storage, then create a tool inside of your starter pack. And this one's Susanoo. And make sure that requires handlers false. Then add a local script inside of here. Let's call it Susanoo client. Create a remote event. Let's call it Susanoo remote. And add a regular script inside of here. Let's call this one Susanoo server. Now, let's go inside of this client script. So, what we want to do, so it is of course pretty basic, is that when the tool has been equipped, so script parent equipped connect function. So if that's the case, then we want to fire server this remote event, and this fire server will cause a reaction inside of this regular script, and this will of course lead to our Susanoo being created. And we're going to do the exact opposite for the unequipped case, and this is of course going to cause the exact opposite, means that the Susanoo is then going to be removed. So, script Susanoo remote fire server Susanoo equip. And then the exact opposite right here, so Susanoo unequipped. Let's go inside of the Susanoo server script and then refer to this remote event, so script parent Susanoo remote on server event connect function, and then of course the player as always as first argument, and then second argument is what. Let me quickly go through this. So those arguments inside of those brackets are basically right here. Now, this argument is always the second argument right here. So the first argument of every on-server event is always the player. And it does not matter if you put the player inside of here or not. Okay, so the player is always automatically being passed. So the player who has caused this file server or who has requested this file server is always automatically being passed right here. And the second argument right here is always the first argument of your file server. So, and I like to use these first arguments as what? Tell the script what it has to do. So if what is Susanoo equip means that the script is supposed to make Susanoo right here equip, then we are going to do so. So then we are going to clone this Susanoo from the replicated storage. So we first of all have to refer to it, refer to the replicated storage, then to the Susanoo, then clone it. Then we want to put it inside of the character, so player dot character, and then we want to belt the torso of the Susanoo model to our humanoid report. So I'll be explaining this in a bit, do not worry. So what happens right here is that W basically represents an instance which is being created right here and which is a veld. And this veld right here is the exact same thing as this veld constraint. So almost the same, of course. They obviously are not the same instances, but they fulfill the same purpose. So they, at the end, just veld instances together. So port 0, so this is the same concept. So port 0 is our humanoid root port, and we are attaching the Susanoo to our humanoid. That's basically what happens right here. Port 0, our humanoid root port, port 1, the Susanoo's torso. And WC1, so the C-frame of your part 1, which is the torso, is basically part 0's C-frame. Yeah, that's it. So the humanoid root port C-frame. Let's see how this looks like. So I'm not expecting that much, but let's see. So as you can see, this did not work out. Instead of doing it this way, we can do it this way. So X torso C-frame equals player character humanoid root port dot C. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, so this kind of worked. Problem is that our character right here, yeah, it is having problems because we still have this humanoid inside of here. So get rid of this humanoid. This humanoid is the problem. Is the problem and causes what you just were able to see, you know. So that our player was like floating. That was because of that humanoid. Now, there are several things which we can change. So, first of all, we can make the Susanoo move a little bit more up. Then apart from that, we can also play this island animation. And after that, we can also add some little effect. Okay? Then we are pretty much done with this video. Okay? Wait, does anything even change? Because I don't think that anything changes right here. Yeah. All right. So, wait. All right. So I have paused the video and then I found a solution. So I was looking for a solution, obviously, after pausing. So what I've done is that I have set the Susanoo's torso C-frame to our human report C-frame after we have parented it. I don't know if this does anything, so if you do this after you have parented it or before, you can try it out for yourself if you want to. But more important was that you set the Veld's C1 C-frame to this. Okay, so obviously this and this adds up to each other, causing this. So let me show you the causes. So that's right here, as you can see. So there we go. Now, to add some cool effect to this, we can do the following. So we can loop through the Susanoo model. So X, get descendants. So pretty important, do get descendants, because we wanna get every child inside of there, so every instance. And we want to check if the instance which we are currently at is either a part or a mesh part. If that's the case, then we want to set the transparency to 1. So make sure to do that. And down here, no, do not add any weight right here. So we want to loop through this Susanoo model again. And we want to do it this way, right? So I have to look out for something. So if the thing we're currently at is a part, then we want the transparency to be 0. And if the instance we're currently at is a mesh part, then we want the transparency to be 0.2. So the reason for this is obviously because of the eyes. They have transparency 0, and the rest, which are mesh parts, they have transparency 0.2. That's the reason why we're doing this. And of course, this won't look fancy when we just keep it as it is. So we have to tween things right here. So to add this cool transition inside of there. So I'm not going to explain tween cells now because I have already done this in many of my videos. So go ahead and check my channel out. Binge watch my videos, guys, to get a overall better understanding of what I'm doing right here. So first argument is the instance which we want to tween, which is going to be B. Second thing is tween info, so we are giving the tween some information on how it is supposed to tween. So the first argument of tween info is the time which it takes to finish this tween. So 1 second. Second thing is called easing style. Let's set this to linear. Third thing is called direction. Let's make this out. And there are also several other arguments which we're not going to consider now. Okay. Now, instead of those curly brackets, you have to add the goal of this tween. So, transparency 0, obviously. So we want to tween this to transparency 0. So that's the goal of this tween. Now, of course, you have to make this tween play after you have set it up, and that's it. Let's copy this tween right here and put 0.2 as the goal right here, and then we are pretty much done with this effect I was talking about. Apart from that, we can now also make this idle play. So X, animation controller, animator, load animation, X, idle. So let's call this. Well, let's put this inside of a variable. So L. So L refers to this loader we have now created. So referring to this animator and then calling this load animation will return an animation track. So a loaded animation, let's say. So the animation you want to load has to be inside of those brackets. So you have to refer to it. Then you can make this animation track play. And playing this animation track will cause the animation to play. Okay, and that's it. So there we go, guys. There we go. There is still one thing which annoys me a little bit. I'm honest with you, I don't know what to do about it. Okay. Never mind. This white seemed to fix it a little. Now, next thing which we will deal with is when this whole thing is supposed to be unequipped. So Susanoo unequip. And so if we're supposed to unequip this, then we want to look out for an instance inside of the character, which is called Susanoo. And if it's in there, then we could obviously just delete it if we want to. But we want to make things look cool. So we want to tween this to transparency 0. I mean transparency 1. Apart from that, if we encounter this point light instance, then we want to disable it, so enable false. And after 1 second, we want to destroy this Susanoo. there we go. So that's it. So now this thing right here is after me, but I don't care. So we're obviously not able to attack right now, but I hope that you guys want to see it in the next episode. So if you want to see me making the Susanoo right here attackable, so that we are able to do some moves to perform some attacks on this one, then leave a like, subscribe, share this video to all of your friends and comment so, and then we will make a video about it, or I will make a video about it. And yeah, so that's it, guys. So that's it for today's episode. I hope that you have enjoyed it. So leave a like, subscribe, share this video to all of your friends, and leave feedback in the comment section. Guys, take care and see you in the next episode.